curated and published by Mindlixer. Chapter 1. The Seed of Strength. There is a force within you that remains largely unseen, often dormant, waiting for the right conditions to spring to life. It is not something reserved for those who seem destined for greatness, nor is it a gift bestowed upon a fortunate few. It is something far more universal, far more potent, and far more powerful than you may have ever realized. This force is your determination, and though it may seem like a simple concept at first, it is, in fact, the secret ingredient behind every success story, the fuel that drives every extraordinary achievement, and the quiet power that moves mountains in the lives of those who know how to wield it. Yet for many, this force remains untapped, locked away behind layers of doubt, fear, and distraction. But what if you could learn the art of accessing it at will? What if determination wasn't just a fleeting moment of resolve, but a constant, steady force that you could call upon whenever you needed it most? There are moments in your life when this force has already brushed against you, perhaps without you even knowing it. Think back to a time when you faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable, when every part of you wanted to give up, to turn back, to stop. And yet something deep inside you refused to let you quit. That was determination, a flicker of the power that resides within you. It might have been brief, it might have been fleeting, but it was real. And the truth is, that same power is available to you right now, not just in moments of crisis, but in every moment of your life. The problem is not that determination is absent, but that we often fail to recognize it, fail to cultivate it, and fail to understand how to use it as a tool, an art, rather than waiting for it to appear by chance. Determination is like a seed buried deep within the soil of your being. Just as a seed contains within it the potential for life, an entire tree, an entire forest, your determination contains within it the potential for every dream, every goal, every aspiration you have ever had. But like any seed, it requires the right conditions to grow. It needs nurturing, it needs care, and it needs the right environment to flourish. And most importantly, it needs to be planted with intention. Too often we go through life waiting for determination to strike us like lightning, to suddenly appear in moments of need. But what if you could plant the seed of determination right now, in this very moment, and watch it grow into a towering force that could carry you through even the toughest times? What if you could turn determination into a constant companion rather than a fleeting visitor? This is where the art of determination begins, with the planting of that seed. But planting it is not enough. You must also learn how to nurture it, how to create the right conditions for it to grow strong and resilient. And this is where many people falter. They believe that determination is something that either comes naturally or not at all, that it is a fixed trait rather than a skill that can be developed. But just as a gardener tends to their plants, ensuring they have the right balance of sunlight, water, and nutrients, you must learn how to tend to your own inner determination. You must learn how to protect it from the weeds of doubt and fear, how to shield it from the storms of distraction and discouragement, and how to cultivate it with the same care and attention that you would give to anything else that you want to grow in your life. It is important to recognize that determination is not always loud or dramatic. It does not always announce itself with fanfare or bold declarations. In fact, more often than not, it is a quiet, steady force, working behind the scenes, unnoticed and unacknowledged. It is the subtle pull that keeps you moving forward when everything else is trying to push you back. It is the quiet voice inside that tells you to keep going, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. It is the unseen hand that guides you through the darkest moments, when the light at the end of the tunnel seems impossibly far away. And it is this quiet, steady nature of determination that makes it so powerful. Because while motivation may come and go, while excitement may fade, determination remains. It does not rely on external circumstances, nor does it depend on fleeting emotions. It is a constant, unwavering force that can carry you through anything, if only you know how to tap into it. But how do you access this quiet power? How do you learn to recognize it, to nurture it, and to call upon it when you need it most? The first step is to shift your perspective. Too often we think of determination as something we need only in times of great struggle or adversity. But the truth is, Determination is something that can and should be cultivated in every moment of your life, not just in moments of crisis. It is not something you wait for, but something you build. It is a practice, an art, and like any other art, it requires patience, dedication, and consistency. Consider the way a sculptor works with a block of stone. At first, the stone is rough and unformed, with no hint of the masterpiece that lies within. But the sculptor sees what is hidden beneath the surface, and with each careful stroke of the chisel, they bring the image to life. This is how you must approach the art of determination. You may not always see the full potential of your determination at first glance. It may seem rough, unformed, buried beneath layers of doubt and hesitation. But with each small action, with each moment of perseverance, you are chipping away at the barriers that stand between you and your inner strength. And slowly, steadily, the masterpiece begins to emerge. The process may not always be easy. In fact, it rarely is. But just as a sculptor knows that the most beautiful works of art take time to create, you must understand that the cultivation of determination is a lifelong process. It is not something that can be achieved overnight, nor is it something that can be forced. It must be nurtured, patiently and with care, until it becomes a natural part of who you are. And as it grows, so too will your ability to face challenges with resilience, to overcome obstacles with grace, and to pursue your goals with unwavering commitment. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when fear threatens to derail your progress, when the path ahead seems too difficult to navigate. But in those moments, remember this: the seed of determination has already been planted within you. It is already growing, even if you cannot yet see its full potential. And just as a tree grows slowly, imperceptibly at times, your determination is growing too. You may not always feel its presence, but it is there, quietly working behind the scenes, guiding you forward. All you need to do is continue tending to it, continue nurturing it, and trust that in time, it will grow into a force that can carry you through anything life throws your way. Chapter 2. The Silent Force. Understanding the Power of Resolve. When we speak of determination, we are not talking about mere motivation, a fleeting spark that ignites quickly and fades just as fast. No, determination is something much deeper, much more enduring, something that lives within you constantly, like a silent force that works without needing recognition or applause. It is the quiet, relentless drive that propels you forward, even when the road becomes treacherous, even when every step feels heavier than the last. In understanding this force, we begin to see that it is not an emotion or a state of mind that comes and goes with the winds of circumstance. It is an inherent part of the human experience, a current that runs through every single person waiting to be harnessed. It is crucial to realize that determination is not an explosive burst of energy, but rather a steady flow that carries you over the long haul. Think of a river cutting through a mountain. The water doesn't rush in a single surge to break through the stone. Instead, it flows steadily, persistently, wearing down the rock bit by bit over time, until one day, what was once a solid, immovable barrier is carved into a deep canyon. This is the power of determination, a continuous, unyielding force that, though seemingly gentle and quiet, can achieve extraordinary things through its consistency. And just like the river, this force within you is always moving, always pushing you toward your goals, even if the progress seems slow or imperceptible. However, determination is often mistaken for sheer willpower or motivation. While motivation can provide the initial spark to start something, it is rarely enough to see a project through to completion. Motivation is like a gust of wind that can blow you forward, but it is often inconsistent. It rises and falls with your emotions, with the highs and lows of your external circumstances. Determination, on the other hand, is the force that remains steady, regardless of how you feel in the moment. It does not depend on your mood or your energy levels. It is simply there, quietly pushing you forward, no matter the obstacles that stand in your way. When you begin to understand the difference between motivation and determination, you begin to see why some people are able to achieve great things not because they are always motivated, but because they have learned how to tap into this deeper, more constant source of energy. Motivation, while powerful in short bursts, is unreliable. It can be derailed by a bad day, a setback, or a moment of doubt. Determination, however, is like a well that you can draw from again and again, even in the toughest moments. When motivation falters, determination is what keeps you going. It is the force that whispers, "Just one more step," even when you feel like you have nothing left to give. And the beauty of it is that determination doesn't require you to feel inspired or energized. It doesn't ask for fanfare or external validation. It simply demands that you keep moving, even if your progress is slow, even if the way forward is unclear. It is this steady, unrelenting drive that makes determination so powerful and ultimately so transformative. But how do we access this force? How do we harness it and use it to propel ourselves forward, especially when the path ahead seems difficult or uncertain? The key lies in understanding that determination is not something you wait for. It is something you cultivate. Just as a farmer tends to their crops, you must tend to your determination, feeding it with small, consistent actions that, over time, build into something much larger. This means that rather than waiting for a surge of motivation to strike, you commit to taking action every day, no matter how small or insignificant that action might seem in the moment. Because just like the river carving through the mountain, every small step forward contributes to the greater whole. One of the most effective ways to cultivate determination is to break your goals down into smaller, more manageable steps. When faced with a large, daunting goal, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel like the task ahead is too big, too difficult, too far out of reach. But when you break that goal down into smaller, bite-sized pieces, the path forward becomes clearer, more achievable. Each small step you take, each minor victory, feeds your determination and gives you the strength to keep going. It is the accumulation of these small wins that eventually leads to the larger success. And this is where the power of determination truly shines. Not in grand, sweeping gestures, but in the quiet, consistent actions that, over time, add up to something extraordinary. It's important to note that this process isn't always glamorous. Determination often works in the background, unnoticed and unappreciated, while motivation tends to take center stage with its bursts of excitement and energy. But it is determination that gets you through the tough days, the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. It is determination that pushes you to keep going when the novelty of a new goal has worn off, and you are left with the daily grind of hard work and discipline. It is determination that carries you through the moments of doubt, the moments of fear, the moments when you feel like giving up. And it is determination that ultimately will lead you to success. The beauty of determination is that it is always there, always accessible even in your darkest moments. It does not depend on external circumstances, nor does it rely on your emotions or mood. It is a force that exists independently of these things, a quiet strength that you can tap into at any time. And the more you practice accessing it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, determination becomes less of an effort and more of a habit, something that is simply a part of who you are. You no longer have to think about it, no longer have to force yourself to keep going, because determination has become ingrained in your very being. This is the art of determination. Not a flashy display of willpower or motivation, but a quiet, steady force that, when cultivated, becomes an unstoppable drive. And once you learn how to tap into this force, there is nothing that can stand in your way. You begin to realize that setbacks are not the end of the road, but simply a part of the journey. You begin to see obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as challenges that can be overcome with time, effort, and patience. And most importantly, you begin to understand that success is not about achieving a single, monumental goal, but about the small, consistent actions that, over time, lead to greatness. The secret to harnessing determination lies in your ability to stay the course, to keep moving forward, even when the way ahead is difficult or unclear. It is not about how fast you move or how much you accomplish in a single day. It is about your ability to keep going day after day, week after week, month after month. And as you cultivate this practice, as you learn to draw on your inner determination, you will begin to see that the greatest successes are not achieved through bursts of motivation, but through the steady, unrelenting power of determination. Chapter 3. Breaking through resistance, the power of small wins. There is an invisible barrier that stands between you and every goal you've ever set. It's not physical, it's not something you can see or touch, but you feel its presence every time you try to move forward. It's resistance, and it exists in many forms: procrastination, self-doubt, fear, distraction, and even the seemingly harmless pursuit of perfection. Resistance is that force that pulls you away from the path you know you need to walk, the voice that whispers that tomorrow is a better day to start, that you're not ready yet, that the risk is too great or the effort too exhausting. And while it may seem insurmountable at times, resistance is something you can break through, but not in the way you might think. It doesn't require a Herculean effort or some grand act of courage. Rather, the key to overcoming resistance lies in understanding the power of small wins. Those tiny, incremental steps that gradually erode the barrier between you and your success. We often view success as something that requires large, dramatic actions, leaps of faith, bold decisions, sweeping changes. And while these moments may sometimes be necessary, they are not the foundation upon which success is built. In reality, success is the result of countless small victories, each one seemingly insignificant on its own, but, when combined, form the momentum needed to break through any barrier. These small wins are the antidote to resistance, and they work because they shift the focus away from the overwhelming task at hand and instead place it on something manageable, something achievable in the present moment. Think about the last time you faced a major project or goal. Maybe it was something that excited you at first, but as you got deeper into the process, the enormity of what needed to be done began to weigh on you. The excitement faded, replaced by a sense of dread or overwhelm. That's resistance. It creeps in when the task seems too large, too complicated, too far out of reach. It convinces you that you're not capable of handling it, that the effort isn't worth the reward, that it's better to wait until you feel more prepared. And so you stop, or maybe you never even start. But what if, instead of focusing on the entire project, you focused on just one small step? One tiny action that moves you forward, even if it's only by an inch. That's the power of small wins. They create momentum, and momentum is the most powerful weapon you have against resistance. The beauty of small wins is that they build upon each other. Each time you achieve a small victory, no matter how insignificant it may seem, you strengthen your resolve. You reinforce the belief that you can move forward, that you are capable of progress. And this is where the shift happens. Resistance begins to lose its power, not because you've overcome it in one fell swoop, but because you've chipped away at it, bit by bit, until it no longer feels like an insurmountable obstacle. In the same way that a river carves a canyon over time, your small wins carve a path through resistance, gradually eroding the doubts and fears that stand in your way. But this process requires patience. It requires a willingness to embrace the long game, to understand that progress is often slow, and that the most meaningful victories are the ones that accumulate over time. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, when the finish line seems no closer than it was yesterday. But this is where determination comes into play. It's the commitment to keep going, even when the progress feels minimal, even when it feels like you're just spinning your wheels. Because every step, no matter how small, is a step forward, and every step forward brings you closer to breaking through the resistance that holds you back. There's a profound sense of liberation that comes with this realization. When you stop viewing resistance as an enemy to be vanquished in one epic battle and instead see it as something that can be worn down over time, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection. You no longer have to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect set of circumstances to start. You simply take one small step, and then another, and then another, and before you know it, you've made more progress than you ever thought possible. This approach to overcoming resistance also helps to cultivate resilience. Every time you push through, even in the smallest of ways, you strengthen your ability to handle setbacks, to navigate challenges, to keep moving forward even when the path is difficult. You develop a sense of trust in yourself and in the process, a belief that no matter what obstacles arise, you have the ability to overcome them, not through sheer force or willpower, but through consistent, deliberate action. This is how you turn setbacks into stepping stones, how you transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. It's important to understand that resistance will always be a part of the journey. It doesn't go away no matter how much success you achieve, no matter how far you progress. In fact, the more ambitious your goals, the stronger the resistance you're likely to face. But rather than seeing this as a negative, you can choose to see it as a sign that you're on the right path. Resistance only arises when you're pushing against your comfort zone, when you're reaching for something beyond what you've already achieved. It's a natural part of growth, and the key is not to avoid it or try to eliminate it, but to learn how to move through it with grace and persistence. The power of small wins is not just in their ability to break through resistance, but in the confidence they build within you. Each time you achieve a small victory, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, that you are making progress, that you are moving closer to your goal. And this belief is what fuels your determination, what keeps you going when the road gets tough. It's not about achieving success all at once. It's about building a foundation of small successes that, over time, lead to something much greater. So the next time you find yourself facing resistance, whether it's in the form of procrastination, fear, or doubt, remember this: you don't have to conquer it all at once. You don't have to take on the entire mountain in a single day. You only need to take one step, and then another, and then another. With each step, you chip away at the resistance, you build momentum, and you move closer to your goal. This is how progress is made, not through giant leaps, but through the steady accumulation of small wins. And as you continue to collect these small victories, you will find that resistance, once so daunting, begins to fade into the background, until it is nothing more than a distant memory of the obstacles you once faced, but have now overcome. Chapter 4. The Art of Resilience. How to Turn Setbacks into Fuel. In the journey of life, setbacks are not only inevitable, but they are also essential. They are the rough patches on the road to success, the detours that seem to take you far from your destination, yet they offer invaluable lessons along the way. Setbacks, by their very nature, challenge us, disrupt our plans, and force us to confront discomfort and uncertainty. And while they can feel like failures in the moment, they are, in fact, opportunities disguised in difficulty. The key lies not in avoiding setbacks, but in learning how to transform them into fuel for resilience, to take what seems like defeat and use it to power your determination even further. This is not an easy task, but once mastered, it becomes one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. Resilience, like determination, is a skill that is developed over time, and it is often born out of hardship. It is easy to remain determined when everything is going smoothly, when the path is clear and the obstacles are minimal. But the true test of determination, and the point at which resilience is built, is when things don't go according to plan, when you face failure, rejection, or unforeseen challenges. These are the moments that define your journey, not because they dictate whether you succeed or fail, but because they determine how you respond. Will you allow setbacks to stop you in your tracks, or will you use them as stepping stones to grow stronger, wiser, and more determined? The first step in transforming setbacks into fuel is to change your perspective on failure. Too often we are conditioned to see failure as a negative, as something to be avoided at all costs. But failure, in its truest sense, is nothing more than feedback. It is the universe's way of showing you that something needs to be adjusted, refined, or approached differently. It is not an end, but a beginning, a chance to learn, to grow, and to become better than you were before. When you begin to view failure in this way, it loses its power to derail you. Instead of seeing a setback as a reason to give up, you see it as a valuable lesson, a piece of the puzzle that brings you one step closer to your goal. Think of failure as a refining process. Just as raw materials are put through intense heat and pressure to remove impurities and reveal their true strength, so too are you refined through the setbacks and challenges you face. Each failure burns away the unnecessary, the ineffective, and the misguided, leaving behind a clearer, sharper, more focused version of yourself. This process is not easy, and it can often be painful, but it is necessary if you are to grow into the person capable of achieving your greatest ambitions. And just like the materials that emerge from the fire stronger and more resilient, you too emerge from your setbacks with a deeper sense of determination and a stronger will to succeed. But resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It is about thriving in spite of it. It is the ability to bounce back, not just to where you were before, but to a place even higher, even stronger. This requires a mindset shift, one in which you stop seeing challenges as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Every time you encounter a setback, you are given a choice. You can allow it to diminish you, or you can use it to elevate you. And while the former may seem like the easier option in the moment, it is the latter that will ultimately lead you to success. Because resilience is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about using difficulty as a catalyst for growth. To build resilience, you must develop the habit of reflection. After every setback, take a moment to pause and ask yourself what you can learn from the experience. What went wrong? What could you have done differently? What new strategies or approaches could you implement moving forward? This process of reflection is essential because it allows you to turn a moment of failure into an opportunity for growth. Rather than being paralyzed by the setback, you become empowered by the lessons it offers. And over time, as you continue to reflect and adjust, you begin to see that every challenge, every failure, is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. It is also important to recognize that setbacks are a normal part of any journey. No one, no matter how successful, has achieved their goals without encountering obstacles along the way. In fact, the most successful people are often those who have faced the greatest setbacks. What sets them apart is not their ability to avoid failure, but their ability to rise above it. They have developed the resilience to keep going, to keep pushing forward, even when the odds seem stacked against them. And it is this resilience, this refusal to give up in the face of adversity, that ultimately leads to their success. The truth is, setbacks can be one of your greatest allies if you know how to harness their power. Every time you encounter a challenge, you are given an opportunity to build strength, to sharpen your focus, and to deepen your determination. It is through these challenges that you develop the resilience needed to overcome even the most difficult obstacles. And the more you embrace this process, the more you begin to see setbacks not as something to be feared, but as something to be welcomed. Because with each setback comes the chance to learn, to grow, and to become even more unstoppable. One of the most effective ways to cultivate resilience in the face of setbacks is to develop a mindset of perseverance. This means committing to the process, no matter how long it takes or how difficult the journey may be. It means understanding that success is rarely a straight line, and that there will be detours, obstacles, and moments of doubt along the way. But it also means trusting that, as long as you keep moving forward, you will eventually reach your destination. Perseverance is the antidote to discouragement. It is what allows you to keep going, even when it feels like you're making no progress. And it is what ultimately separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up along the way. Another key aspect of resilience is flexibility. While perseverance is about staying the course, flexibility is about being willing to adapt when necessary. Sometimes the path you originally set out on may no longer be the best route to your destination. In these moments, it is important to be willing to adjust your approach, to try new strategies, and to explore different options. Resilience is not about stubbornly sticking to a plan that isn't working. It is about being willing to pivot when needed, while still keeping your eyes on the ultimate goal. Flexibility allows you to navigate setbacks with grace, knowing that there are many ways to achieve success, and that sometimes the best path is the one you hadn't initially considered. Resilience is about embracing the process of growth, understanding that every setback is a part of the journey, and that each one brings with it the opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more determined. It is the recognition that setbacks are not the end of the road, but rather a vital part of the path to success. And it is the unwavering belief that no matter what challenges you face, you have the strength, the determination, and the resilience to overcome them. This mindset, once developed, becomes your greatest asset, allowing you to face even the toughest obstacles with confidence, knowing that every setback is simply another step toward achieving your greatest potential. Chapter 5. The Unseen Path, Trusting the Process of Growth. In every journey of personal growth, there are moments when it feels like all the effort, all the work, all the dedication is yielding no visible results. These moments can be the most discouraging, where doubt creeps in, and the urge to give up seems overwhelming. You've been working tirelessly, planting seeds of progress, but there are no sprouts in sight, no signs of change. It's during these periods that trusting the process becomes paramount. Personal growth is rarely linear. It is often invisible for long stretches of time, like the roots of a tree that grow deep into the soil long before any signs of life appear above the ground. There's a powerful lesson in nature about patience, about trusting that growth is happening, even when you can't yet see it. This unseen growth is one of the most challenging aspects of determination, because we live in a world that celebrates instant gratification. We are conditioned to expect quick results, immediate feedback, and tangible progress. When we don't see those things, it's easy to believe that we're failing, that our efforts are in vain. But true progress, meaningful growth, happens beneath the surface, often in ways that are imperceptible at first. It's like planting a seed in the ground. For weeks, you water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, but nothing seems to happen. If you didn't understand how growth works, you might assume the seed was dead, that all your efforts were wasted. But beneath the soil, a complex and vital process is unfolding. The seed is growing roots, anchoring itself deeply into the earth, establishing the foundation it needs to eventually break through the surface and grow into something strong and lasting. This is exactly how personal growth works. The efforts you make each day, even when they seem small or insignificant, are contributing to something much larger than you realize. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, is building the foundation for future breakthroughs. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. It is. But growth, particularly personal growth, is often slow and gradual. It requires patience, trust, and a willingness to stay the course, even when the rewards are not immediately visible. This is the art of trusting the process. To continue moving forward with faith that your efforts will pay off in time, even when the results are delayed. One of the biggest traps people fall into is thinking that if they don't see immediate results, they must be doing something wrong. This mindset is dangerous because it leads to frustration, discouragement, and ultimately, quitting. But the truth is that growth takes time, often much longer than we anticipate. And the most significant changes, the ones that are truly transformative, happen gradually over time. When you trust the process, you allow yourself to release the need for immediate validation. You understand that the work you're putting in now is planting seeds for future success, and you have faith that, in time, those seeds will bloom. It's also important to recognize that the process of growth is not always straightforward. There will be setbacks, detours, and moments where it feels like you're moving backward. But these moments are part of the process too. Just like a tree that faces storms and winds, your growth is shaped by the challenges you encounter. These difficulties are not signs that you're failing. They are opportunities to build strength, resilience, and adaptability. Trusting the process means understanding that even when things don't go as planned, you are still progressing. Every setback is a chance to learn, to adjust, and to grow stronger. There is a beautiful metaphor in nature that illustrates this perfectly: the bamboo tree. When you plant a bamboo seed, for the first 5 years, nothing appears to happen. You water it, you tend to it, but there is no visible growth. Then, in the 5th year, something extraordinary happens. The bamboo suddenly begins to grow at an astonishing rate, shooting up several feet in a matter of weeks. But during those first 5 years, the bamboo was not dormant. It was growing its roots, building a foundation strong enough to support its rapid growth once it emerged from the ground. This is the process of unseen growth. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean that progress isn't happening. You are laying the groundwork, building the roots that will eventually support your success. The key to trusting the process is to focus on the actions, not the outcomes. When you become too fixated on results, you lose sight of the importance of the journey itself. It's the daily habits, the small, consistent efforts that ultimately lead to big changes. If you focus solely on the outcome, you set yourself up for disappointment because the road to success is rarely smooth. But if you focus on the process, on showing up each day, doing the work and making progress, no matter how small, you free yourself from the pressure of needing immediate results. You begin to find joy and satisfaction in the journey itself, knowing that each step forward is a step in the right direction, even if you can't yet see the finish line. It's also important to surround yourself with reminders of this truth. In moments of doubt, when you feel like giving up, reflect on stories of those who have achieved great things. You'll find that their paths were rarely easy or straightforward. Most success stories are filled with moments of uncertainty, frustration, and failure. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is their ability to trust the process, to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. They understand that growth is happening beneath the surface, that every effort, no matter how small, is contributing to their eventual success. This mindset is what allows them to persevere through the tough times and emerge stronger on the other side. Another important aspect of trusting the process is letting go of the need for perfection. When you're focused on the end result, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that everything needs to be perfect in order for progress to happen. But perfection is a myth. Growth is messy, unpredictable, and often uncomfortable. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect plan, you'll be waiting forever. The process is imperfect by nature, and that's what makes it so powerful. It's through the challenges, the mistakes, and the setbacks that you learn the most and grow the strongest. When you trust the process, you also learn to trust yourself. You begin to develop a deep sense of inner confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to adapt, to learn, and to keep moving forward. This self-trust is essential because, in the end, the only person who can determine your success is you. External circumstances may change, obstacles may arise, but when you trust in your ability to navigate the process, you become unstoppable. You understand that success is not about reaching a destination, but about the journey itself, and you find peace in knowing that as long as you keep moving forward, you are on the right path. Trusting the process is about surrendering control, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of letting go of the need to force outcomes. It's about embracing the uncertainty, the unknown, and the imperfections of the journey. It's about knowing that growth is happening, even when you can't see it, and that every effort you make is contributing to something much larger than yourself. When you trust the process, you free yourself from the pressure of needing immediate results and allow yourself to experience the joy of the journey. You begin to see that success is not a single moment or event, but a series of small steps, each one building on the last, leading you toward the person you are meant to become. Chapter 6. The Circle of Success, Connecting Purpose and Determination. When we speak of success, there is often a tendency to focus on the external markers, wealth, recognition, or the achievement of specific goals. These are the things we can see, measure, and quantify. But at the heart of every truly successful story, there is something much deeper, much more profound, and that is purpose. Purpose is the driving force behind determination, the fuel that keeps you moving forward even when the road becomes difficult, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. It's the invisible thread that connects all of your efforts, giving them meaning and direction. Without a clear sense of purpose, determination becomes aimless, like a ship without a destination. But when purpose and determination are aligned, they create an unstoppable momentum, a force that can carry you through even the toughest challenges. Purpose is not always something that reveals itself in a flash of inspiration. For many people, purpose is something that unfolds gradually, over time. It's not a single static thing, but rather a guiding principle that evolves as you grow and change. It's what gives your actions meaning, what makes all the hard work, the sacrifices, and the setbacks worthwhile. When you have a clear sense of purpose, you are no longer just working toward a goal for the sake of achievement. You are working towards something that feels deeply important to you, something that resonates with your core values and beliefs. And this is where true determination is born, not from a desire to achieve success for its own sake, but from a desire to fulfill a purpose that is larger than yourself. The relationship between purpose and determination is a powerful one because purpose provides the why behind your actions. It is the reason you keep going when the path becomes difficult, the reason you push through the moments of doubt and uncertainty. When you are clear on your purpose, the obstacles that once seemed overwhelming become manageable, because you are no longer focused on the difficulty of the task at hand, but on the importance of the outcome. Purpose transforms obstacles from barriers into stepping stones, each one bringing you closer to fulfilling your deeper mission. And this is the secret behind the success of many of the world's most accomplished individuals. Their determination was not fueled by a desire for external rewards, but by a deep connection to their purpose. One of the most remarkable things about purpose is that it gives you the ability to sustain effort over the long term. When you are connected to a purpose, you are no longer relying solely on willpower or motivation to get you through the tough times. Willpower can fade and motivation can wane, but purpose remains constant. It is the anchor that keeps you grounded, the source of strength that you can draw from even when you feel like giving up. Purpose gives your determination staying power, allowing you to keep moving forward day after day, year after year, even when the journey becomes difficult or the rewards are slow to come. But purpose is not just about sustaining effort. It's also about giving you clarity and focus. When you are clear on your purpose, you know what is important and what is not. You are able to prioritize your time and energy, focusing on the things that truly matter and letting go of the distractions that pull you off course. Purpose acts as a compass, guiding you through the noise and confusion of life, helping you make decisions that are aligned with your values and goals. This clarity is crucial because without it, it is easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer volume of choices and opportunities that life presents. But when you have a clear sense of purpose, you are able to navigate these choices with confidence, knowing that every step you take is bringing you closer to fulfilling your mission. Now, one of the challenges of finding and aligning with your purpose is that it requires a deep level of introspection and honesty. It's not always easy to identify what truly matters to you, especially in a world that is constantly telling you what you should care about. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of goals that are not truly your own, goals that are imposed by society, by your family, or by your peers. But purpose is something that comes from within, something that is deeply personal and unique to you. It requires you to listen to your own inner voice, to tune out the noise of the external world, and focus on what truly resonates with you. And this process can be uncomfortable because it often means letting go of the things that you thought were important, but that no longer serve you. But once you connect with your purpose, everything changes. Your determination becomes laser-focused, your actions become aligned with your values, and you begin to experience a sense of fulfillment that goes far beyond the achievement of any external goal. Purpose gives your life direction, and with that direction comes a sense of peace and contentment, even in the face of challenges. You begin to see that success is not just about reaching a destination, but about the journey itself, about the person you become as you work toward fulfilling your purpose. The beauty of purpose is that it is always evolving. As you grow and change, so too does your purpose. What drives you today may not be the same thing that drives you 5 or 10 years from now, and that's okay. Purpose is not fixed. It is fluid, and it moves with you as you move through life. This means that you are never truly finished when it comes to purpose. You are always in the process of discovering new layers, new depths to what drives you. And this is what keeps life exciting and meaningful. There is always more to discover, more to learn, more ways to grow and contribute. Another powerful aspect of purpose is that it connects you to something larger than yourself. When you are working toward a purpose that is bigger than your individual success, you begin to experience a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond personal achievement. Purpose often involves serving others, contributing to the world in a meaningful way, and making a positive impact. This sense of contribution is one of the most rewarding aspects of living with purpose. because it allows you to feel connected to the larger fabric of humanity. It gives your life a sense of meaning and significance that cannot be found through the pursuit of success alone. And it is this connection to something larger than yourself that gives your determination its deepest power. When you are working toward a purpose that is aligned with your values and that contributes to the greater good, your determination becomes unstoppable. You are no longer motivated by fear of failure or by the need for external validation. You are driven by a deep desire to make a difference, to leave a legacy, to contribute something of value to the world. This is the true power of purpose. It transforms your determination from a personal drive into a force for good, a force that can change not only your life but the lives of those around you. In the end, purpose and determination are inseparable. Purpose gives determination its meaning, its direction, and its staying power. And determination is what allows you to bring your purpose to life, to turn your dreams into reality. When you align the two, you create a powerful synergy that propels you forward, no matter what challenges you face. You become unstoppable, not because you are immune to failure or setbacks, but because you are connected to something that is larger than yourself, something that gives your life meaning and significance. This is the secret to living a truly fulfilling and successful life, to align your determination with your purpose and to allow that alignment to guide you through every step of your journey. Chapter 7. The Journey Continues, Living with Unstoppable Determination. As you navigate through life, there comes a point when you realize that the journey is not a sprint, but a marathon, and even more so, it's a journey that doesn't have a defined finish line. Determination is not something you use up on a single task, nor is it something that depletes once you've achieved one goal. It's a wellspring of energy that, once tapped, fuels not just a moment of success, but an entire life of growth, evolution, and transformation. The art of determination is not about reaching one pinnacle and then resting on your laurels. It's about maintaining a continuous flow of progress, understanding that success in life is not a single event, but a cycle, a constant process of setting new goals, overcoming new challenges, and evolving with each step you take. In this sense, determination becomes a lifestyle, not just a tool you use in times of need. It shapes the way you approach everything in your life, from your career and relationships to your personal growth and well-being. And the most important realization here is that determination is not just for the big moments. It's easy to call on your determination when you're facing a major challenge or striving toward a grand goal. But what about the everyday moments? The small, seemingly insignificant choices that, over time, add up to create the life you lead. It's in these quiet, everyday moments where the true power of determination reveals itself. It's the determination to get up and keep going, even when no one is watching. It's the determination to make the hard choices that align with your values, even when it would be easier to take the comfortable, familiar path. It's the determination to stay disciplined in your habits, to pursue growth, even when the results are not immediate or obvious. Living with determination means recognizing that the process never ends. There is always something more to learn, always another level of growth to reach, always new challenges to face. And this is not a burden, it's a gift. It's what keeps life exciting, meaningful, and full of purpose. When you embrace this mindset, you stop seeing challenges as obstacles to be avoided and start seeing them as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. You begin to view life not as a series of problems to solve, but as a journey of continuous evolution. Every setback, every failure, every difficult moment becomes a chance to cultivate more determination, to refine your skills, and to deepen your resilience. This understanding shifts the way you experience your goals as well. No longer are your goals just checkpoints on a linear path to success. They become milestones in an ongoing journey of personal transformation. Each goal you set and achieve is not an endpoint, but a stepping stone to the next phase of your growth. This is why it's so important to keep setting new goals, to keep pushing yourself beyond what you think is possible. Determination thrives on forward momentum. When you stop moving forward, when you stop challenging yourself, that well of determination begins to dry up. But when you continually set new goals, no matter how big or small, you keep that momentum alive. You keep yourself engaged, focused, and excited about what's to come. It's also important to remember that determination is not a solitary endeavor. While it's true that no one else can walk your path for you, it's equally true that you don't have to walk it alone. In fact, one of the most powerful ways to strengthen your determination is to surround yourself with people who support and inspire you. Community, mentorship, and accountability are crucial elements of sustained determination. When you are part of a community that shares your values and goals, your determination is amplified by the collective energy and support of others. They push you when you need it. They hold you accountable when you're tempted to give up, and they remind you of your purpose when doubt creeps in. Mentors play a similar role. They are the ones who have walked the path before you, who understand the challenges and the rewards of living with determination. They offer guidance, wisdom, and encouragement when you need it most. And they show you what's possible when you stay committed to your goals. But mentors are not just there to teach you. They are also there to challenge you, to push you beyond your comfort zone, and to help you see possibilities that you might not have seen on your own. This is why seeking out mentors and building a strong support network is so important for long-term success. Determination is a personal journey, yes, but it is one that is enriched and strengthened by the presence of others who believe in you and your potential. Another key aspect of living with determination is self-compassion. Too often, we equate determination with relentless drive, with the idea that we must always be pushing ourselves, always striving for more, never allowing ourselves to rest. But true determination is not about burning yourself out. It's about understanding the importance of balance, rest, and renewal. There will be times when you need to push hard, to give everything you have to achieve a goal. But there will also be times when you need to step back, recharge, and take care of yourself. Determination is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And just like any marathon, you need to pace yourself. You need to know when to push and when to rest. This balance is what allows you to sustain your determination over the long term. Self-compassion also means being kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Setbacks, failures, and mistakes are an inevitable part of any journey, and it's easy to be hard on yourself when you stumble. But beating yourself up for not being perfect only drains your energy and undermines your determination. Instead, learn to view these moments with compassion. Understand that they are part of the process, that they do not define your worth or your potential. Use them as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to become even more determined. When you approach your setbacks with self-compassion, you create a safe space for yourself to keep moving forward, even when the road gets rough. Finally, living with determination means being adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how carefully you plan, there will always be unexpected twists and turns. Determination does not mean rigidly sticking to a plan, no matter what. It means being flexible enough to adjust your approach when circumstances change, while still staying true to your overall vision and purpose. It means being open to new opportunities, new ideas, and new paths that you might not have considered before. This adaptability is what allows your determination to remain strong in the face of uncertainty and change. It's what allows you to keep moving forward, even when the road looks different than you expected. In the end, living with determination is about embracing the journey with all its highs and lows, its triumphs and challenges. It's about committing to continuous growth, to setting new goals, and to pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. It's about building a strong support network, practicing self-compassion, and staying adaptable in the face of change. And most of all, it's about trusting in yourself and in the process, knowing that every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the life you were meant to live. Determination is not just a means to an end. It's a way of life, a powerful, transformative force that can carry you through anything and everything,